What is up, AlienARMy? I am Oculus, the alien next door, and this is going to be more of a podcast style type of video. There's not going to be anything for you to look at the screen for, and I was just prompted to get on here really quickly and recite some passages from Aleister Crowley's The Book of the Law. He wants me to do this right now, so here the fuck I is. So, I had some interesting epiphanies just now. And this basically is going to discuss some of the interpretations that I have in regards to Aleister Crowley, The Book of the Law. So first we're going to go to page 30, and this is number 52. Here is the quote, and this says, "There is a veil. That veil is black. It is the veil of the modest woman. It is the veil of sorrow and the pall of death. This is none of me. Tear down that lying specter of the centuries. Veil not your vices in virtuous words. These vices are my service. Ye do well, and I will reward you here and hereafter." So, my interpretation of this is essentially the veil that exists between. I told you this is freestyle, and I'm not gonna edit it. It's gonna be voice only. But anyway, so there is a veil, the veil that is betwixt worlds, and this is the veil that cloaks the 3D from the ethers, 5D and above. This is also, as I interpret, as the fourth dimension, and these are where things that, as the passage says, your vices lie. So if you do not allow yourself to have the vices, because the vices, as the passage states, are my services, okay, so your vices serve you as well. So this is not to say that you want to only relinquish yourself to the dark side, but this is to simply say that one must acknowledge that the dark side exists as well. If one does not acknowledge this, then the veil becomes more opaque. It is less translucent. For if you do not acknowledge the 4D qualities and aspects of yourself, the things that you desire, that you crave, then they will seduce you, they will overcome you. And this is why we have the devil card in tarot. I'm channeling, guys, so just if I start fucking talking in a different tone, it wasn't me. The pall of death, the death that brings life, because remember, there's everything alpha and omega. I was gonna say omalpha. Oh my goodness, alpha and omega. What happens is that if you do not acknowledge your vices, then that opaque veil shall become even more opaque. It shall essentially become a black hole, and then you are really lost in the spiral of obsession, because either you are, well, actually there's no either. You are disacknowledging your vices, the things that might seem taboo, but they are turned onto you. This is not to say go out and act on your every whim, but you must acknowledge that that whim is there. If you try to suppress it, it will come out in other ways that are definitely not going to serve you. They're going to serve the ego, but they're not going to serve your higher self. And this passage is saying, tear down the lying specter, right? The veil does not exist. If you acknowledge even your dark side too, because a lot of motherfuckers, they want to just concentrate on the light side of things, right? They like the daylight, they like the sunshine. Me, I like a little bit of darkness, you know what I'm saying? So if you acknowledge the dark side, that don't mean by you acknowledging it that you have to feed into it and act it out physically. You go in there energetically and you say, why is this taboo dark thing turning my mind on so much, in essence, turning on my physical vessel to want to act out these things? If you do not go in there energetically, they are going to come out. They are going to come out physically. And that's where I'm going to use this again. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I have a degree in being me only. But I will tell you this from what I have channeled. You take what resonates. I'm not telling you what to believe in, what to think, and what to know. Only you know what you know. My perspective is that many who are labeled as a serial killer have had this very issue. A serial anything, okay? Which means that it's a pattern. That's essentially what it means. I don't know if that's the exact definition, but that's what came through right now. If you do not acknowledge the dark side therefore becomes the devil tarot card that binds you to your physical realm domain, because you have not acknowledged the 4D. You know it's there, but you are suppressing it, and that's why it's acted out physically. For a lot who are labeled as serial killers, there might be more individuals that identify with these type of urges, but that's the one that simply comes to mind in this moment. So acknowledge the dark side, because the dark side is serving you as well. Because if you can go in there and acknowledge the dark, you might find and shed light on a subject matter that you did have maybe some sort of taboo urge, whatever it might be. And then you go in and you acknowledge it. It's no longer going to scare you. It's no longer going to control you. That is why you hear a lot of times I hear about, you know, I guess the fad of true crime is rather happening right now, right? So I watch a lot of true crime content, even like Nightmare Next Door and Disappeared. I used to watch that shit when it was on Investigation Discovery. So I've been into that for a while. But if you listen to any of the most popular true crime cases, typically the individual that participated in the crime as the instigator of the physical aspect of the crime, they will say that they don't know what came over them. It was like a demon came over them. That is what happens in a lot. I'm not saying all. This is from what I channeled. I do not have a degree in anything but being me. Let us clarify once more. Maybe we'll clarify again. I don't know. But this is what I'm telling you. My perspective as a motherfucker on the internet right now, speaking into a microphone. From what I have channeled, those individuals that are the instigator of a horrific crime or spree or whatever, right? They're a serial, you fill in the blank. Means it's a pattern, which means that they subconsciously knew that they had these urges, but they refused to acknowledge that. They did not want to bring these urges into the light. They preferred them to be in the shadows, because their ego couldn't stand to look at what these urges meant, and that there's a deeper issue lying in there, stemming from somewhere. Could have been a past life. It could have been something earlier along their journey in the vessel they inhabit now, but that is what happens. That is why the serial killer, whatever the fuck, that is why these things happen. And a lot of times they will say it wasn't me. They don't know what came over them, blah, blah, blah. And the reason why is because literally an energetic demon did come up, because that energetic demon, remember, demons they can be personified into caricatures, but a lot of times they're just energetically, everything starts off energetically before you put like a motherfucking title and a face to it. You know what I'm saying? So, the energy that is suppressed is only going to become larger. That is why when this passage says the veil, the more you deny something, the more that veil becomes opaque, and then the less you begin to see it in yourself. That's why a lot of times you will say that motherfuckers that are not part of you, they can see what's going on, okay, while the other person cannot, because they're too personally involved in the ego. The veil is so opaque and thick that they cannot get through, because they have these urges. They simply act on them and they don't know why. That is my interpretation of how, you know, a demon and demonic energy can literally take over someone's physical vessel as an energetic form. But now it's like they're on autopilot, not autopilot, maybe overdrive. I don't know. But it's like when now your greatest vices are essentially running you and you're not running them, because you ran away from them. So you're not running them, right? You ain't run to them and say, yo, motherfucker, what's up? It's me. Let's have a little chat, you know, which is what, in my opinion, in my view, as a not psychiatrist with a degree in being me, in my opinion, if one knows that they have a particular vice, whatever it is, they might be acting out on that vice. And, a vice could even be drinking coffee first thing in the morning, right? Like, we don't need to get too deep into it. A vice could be anything, okay? Me, I drink coffee every morning. I know that it's not a vice. It's just because I've done it times where I haven't drank coffee in the morning and everything was good. It's just... But I'm just saying, like, you'll know if something is a vice if it feels like you can't let it go and you can't do without it for a second. That's how you'll know it's a vice. But the vices serve you as well. And, again, devil energy, okay? Saturn, Capricorn, tarot card, okay? All of that. I will reward you here and hereafter, okay? You acknowledge your vices. This is the planet Saturn, also associated, Satan, devil, blah, blah, blah. That's, I said, devil tarot card with Capricorn. Saturn governs Capricorn. It's all connected, I promise you. I might ramble, but I know where the fuck I'm going because my intuition guides me. So, I talk a lot, Mr. Motherfucking Third House Mercury. So, this is Saturn speaking... At least my interpretation with Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley is a Libra. Libra is an aspect of Saturnian energy, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos. If I remember, I'll link it. But when he's saying this, the book of the law, and the law Saturn. Saturn is law. Saturn is justice. Your vices, that's why they say Saturn is the planet of time and karma, right? They give this motherfucker a bad reputation. He's not a bad dude. He's like, you get over your vices, you pierce that veil, and then you tear that wall down like motherfucking, when was that shit? 1989, I think, the Berlin Wall. Yeah, you tear that shit down, okay? And you now have the open space to have whatever you want. It says, these vices are my services. Ye do well, and I will reward you here and hereafter, in this lifetime and the next, motherfucker. You get over your vices. I'm not saying, again, act them out physically, but you get into them. You say, yo, motherfucker, why are you here? What's up? Demons ain't scary motherfuckers. They're just a little misunderstood. I channeled that earlier, right? So that's all you have to do. And then it comes down to the energy. They can seem like demons, and you give them a caricature. Then, some horrific crime occurs, and a motherfucker is like, I don't know what came over me. Man, you're suppressed motherfucking shit going on in your emotional body. That's what the fuck happens. I mean, dang. But, I ain't here to judge no one. I'm just saying what it is from what I channeled as my motherfucking ass not being a psychiatrist. There we go. This is from what I channeled. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. I feel that it's pertinent for me to do that. These are my views, my opinions from what I channeled. You know things that you know. You don't need to think or believe or feel anything that I'm saying or not saying is right or wrong. You use your own dissertation. I don't know if that's the word. Maybe it's dissertation. I don't know. But then here's another one. Listen, man. Okay, this is from the Book of the Law, page 31, number 57. And this is where I have my grand motherfucking epiphany, which I'm going to tell you about. So, mwah, thank you, Aleister Crowley, my 4D daddy. All right, so let me take a sip of water. Holy shit. Whew. All right. So, number 57. He that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Listen, okay? This can have a few different meanings. The one that perhaps some of you might resonate with is going to come a little piggybacking off of the one that I just said here with about the veil. So if you're righteous, if you are righteous from the inside out, you will be righteous still. You that are filthy from the inside out, you will be filthy still. And I'm talking about energetically. Energetically, if you go in and you fucking pierce through the veil, you clean that shit up and you say, yo, what's up, taboo shit? Why the fuck you in my psyche, subconsciously? I don't know what the fuck, right? You go in there and you ask that motherfucker what he doing, he gonna talk to you. And then you're like, oh, that's why. And then that's it. You release the demon. They ain't gonna bother you. The demon only bother you if you disacknowledge their existence. Because they have feelings too. I mean, I don't know how to interpret those feelings, but they're like, yo, what, you gonna ignore me, motherfucker? Then I'm gonna get larger than life, homie. So that's essentially what happens. So this is really being what you are from the inside out, okay? And still, I feel like I need to say something now. In my interpretation of this, he that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Along with the meaning that I just gave, this is also in your stillness. This is like a metaphor. I'm taking it as you know what is going on when you are completely still. When your mind chatter, when the monkey mind bullshit ain't going on, trying to conjure up some stupid emotion for your emotional body. And then sometimes or sometimes not, it might affect your physical fucking vessel, because the physical vessel is an extension of the emotional body. I believe Dr. Joe Dispenza says something similar. That might have been where I heard it first. I'm not sure, but he has. If you're more interested, you should check out some of his stuff on this, as well as, of course, Daddy Aleister Crowley. You know, check out his work. Anyway, but with channeled information, I do understand that it comes down to the decipherment of the interpreter. You know, every eye must negotiate for themselves and trust no agent, by William Shakespeare, who we already know who the fuck William Shakespeare was, because damn! Woo! Okay, anyway, that's another topic. Maybe he'll come through. Yo, William Shakespeare, you want to come through and channel me? I put the invite out there. I mean, I don't know if he's going to respond. If he does, I'll, you know, and he wants me to do a video on it, I will. Either which way. So yeah, we talked about the righteous, be that from the inside. Then once you're still, you are still that, what you are vibrating at on the inside, whether you are conscious of it or not, because stillness, that's where the answers come. But it can also be still as in stagnant, where you don't recognize the traits that are going in yourself, okay? And this is also my epiphany now with the page 31, number 57. It is this was from a video that I filmed. It's kind of like a spoof video. I don't know what it was. It was like a little funny video, which, if I remember again, I'll link that below. But this was something that happened. You know, I filmed this in the beginning of 2020, sometime in March. Okay, this video went, and what happened? What happened, friends, in the beginning of March or the mid-March 2020? But I had my eye on that shit since like the beginning of January. I ain't gonna lie. And then I was like, oh, so I had my eye on it. You know what I'm saying? Not just my two eyes, but I had my eye on that since January 2020. A lot of you probably did too. A lot of you probably share my same viewpoints regarding that. But either which way, this is a video that I put up around that time frame, March 2020. And looking back on it now, this is why I leave up some of the old videos. I mean, I pretty much leave up all my videos. But this was when there was a big situation going on, you know, in the 3D Earth Matrix. And I was like, I mean, you'll see if you want to watch that. But basically, it was this little dance, I guess, informative dance that I did, in regards to what was going on. And it's so amazing how my views over a year later, and this is why, you know, I like to talk a lot, because it's like connecting the pieces. So you might notice things like this in your own experience, you connecting the dots when you look at things that you maybe posted years ago and you realize what was going on in your experience at that time. Because I looked at the date that I posted this up originally and I said, ooh, yes, I did. Okay, that's a little some tidbit of information just for me. But what I meant to share with you all is that this quote is from a Johnny Cash song. And the Johnny Cash song is what I'm dancing to in this video. Okay, so that's the connection there. But basically what happened is that this is a line from a song, and it's called The Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash. And I loved this song from when I first heard it in the movie Dawn of the Dead, and this is the remake in 2004 it came out. I did like the original Dawn of the Dead too. I believe it was 1978. I mean, I like both of them. I think this was a really good remake. In my opinion, it was really, really good. Like, a lot of remakes, they fucking suck monkey ass, you know what I mean? But this one was like, this shit was, I liked it, okay? If you're into horror movies. If you're not, then, you know, I don't know. So yeah, it was a good movie, and this song was played in the beginning of the movie, and there was, you know, and this came out, remember, 2004, so you know how the media always tells the masses things, like they show literally what the fuck is going on, what the agenda is, but motherfuckers, you know, they have that veil that refuses to be pierced, or they don't want to acknowledge that veil exists, or maybe they're just not meant to in this lifetime and they're happy with it. You know, they might be a young soul, quote unquote, right? Like, this is your first time in the Earth Matrix, bro, damn. You know, one of them type of motherfuckers. So when one sees with the eye, essentially, they see that the things that are broadcast in the media are really foreshadowing, quote unquote, predicting. Oh, that was quote unquote coincidence, right? They're showing what's going on, or what is going to occur up next to the Matrix arena. You know what I'm saying? And so this one was that song Dawn of the Dead. It has to do with a zombie outbreak due to like a zombie virus or some shit. And that song by Johnny Cash. And if it interests you, look up the lyrics. I think I looked up the lyrics to that years ago. The Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash, and I don't remember them. But either which way, it's kind of like the coming of the apocalypse, right? So he's talking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and it's like, so Johnny Cash, I don't know if he wrote this song. I really don't know. I don't even want to speculate. I don't know if he wrote this song himself, or that someone wrote it and then he covered it. I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend to know, okay? But I just know that these lyrics, he that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. As long he also makes a reference to the four horsemen of the apocalypse, or a pale horse, or something like that, right? But I don't know if the pale horse thing, does that come from the Bible? I don't know. I don't want to, you know, it's not about the Bible right now. It's about Aleister Crowley, the Book of the Law, which I know for damn motherfucking Skippy, because I done made a video and I done saw the movie Dawn of the Dead like 80,000 fucking times, because it's so fucking amazing. I think I actually own it, actually. I think so. Yum. Zombies and chill. Okay, so he that is righteous shall be righteous still. He that is filthy shall be filthy still. Those are motherfucking song lyrics of this Johnny Cash song that I talked about, that I fucking put in right before shit hit the fan, right? It's like this shit was first revving up. It was first getting the first few inklings. And you could look at the day that I originally posted the video, but I'm like, oh my God. Intuitively, thank you, universe. You see, I knew what the fuck was coming. I knew it. I knew it so much that I filmed a crazy ass video dancing to this song. And the whole reason, right, aside from the message I just gave you about this passage, is essentially you're going to know what's going on before it even happens intuitively, especially if you see with the eye, if you have already pierced that veil. You're going to know, and then you're going to look back on some of the shit, the timing that you posted shit, okay, because we are, you know, in present day, so there's a lot of online shit, okay? Me, the online shit is YouTube. I'm looking back, I'm like, what was going on in my 3D realm experience whilst I filmed that video and posted, and I'm like, yo, that was when this whole snafu debacle first started coming out. And I use a song from a movie that I love that indicates a zombie virus taking over, and I find that it can be literal, figurative, metaphorical. That's my personal opinion as to what has been going on since I originally posted that in March 2020, and I'm like, damn. And then all of the shit has just, I mean, from what I see in my own personal experience, I'm like, yo, this shit unfolded. And like, this was when a lot of individuals still believed what was being spoon-fed to them in regards to this situation. But now it's like, I think even motherfuckers who did believe this shit, now they're like, yeah, it's something a little shady with this motherfucking shit going on. So this was like really way back when, but the whole point is that whoever made this song, and this is a mainstream song that they used in a movie, This is about the apocalypse. This is what it's about. Aleister Crowley, the Book of the Law. This is how you survive the apocalypse. This is how you survive the purge of motherfucking... of the undesired beings. Because this is really what it is. It's a purge of them, because they're like, yo, we gotta do something. Okay, I'm not gonna get further into that. You take what resonates with you. If you know what I'm talking about, then that's up to you. But there's a purge occurring in the 3D Earth Matrix right now, and this is the apocalypse. You survive the apocalypse. You first make sure you are pure on the inside. You are still. Even in your stillness, nothing bothers you. In your stillness, if you allow it, your vices will come up to liberate you. Saturn, Satan, karma, time. Boom, motherfucker. You have to emancipate yourself. If you do not ascend to a higher vibrational consciousness, and not everyone is meant to, not everyone even wants to. So this is like, yo, if motherfuckers are cool in the 3D and they're like a young soul or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to label them in the spiritual community, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these 3D individuals. There's nothing wrong with them. No shade on them. That's not what their soul wanted to experience in this life, and that's fine. But I will tell you this, if you have opted to elevate your consciousness, you need to be as pure on the inside as you are on the outside, because it always comes from the inside out. This is a random message, but if you want to cure something, ingest something that is going to cure that from the inside out. This might be a very specific message for someone, I don't know, but you need to ingest it. However you find a way to ingest it, it's going to cure whatever ailment you might be in observation of, and you're like, what? You cure it from the inside out. Nothing topical. And it will be of a plant derivation. I don't know if that's the proper word, but that's what came to my mind, okay? That message is for someone. As I said, I'm freestyling. I'm not going to edit this. So whatever's going to come through is going to come through. Thank you, Aleister Crowley, my 4D daddy. Thank you, Mr. Lucifer, Mr. Saturn, Mr. Satan, all y'all motherfuckers. I love you all. So this is what they're showing me. Aleister Crowley, the Book of the Law, is actually a handbook for the apocalypse. Holy shit. Yeah. I bought mine recently. I had read certain parts of it over the years, but I bought mine recently a few months ago. And this is a handbook, How to Survive the Apocalypse. This is written by high vibrational beings. This is channeled by Aleister Crowley, interpreted by me right now. Aleister's giving me the fucking nod. He has to go ahead. He's like, yep, you know, because the way that he wrote it, in a way that a lot of channeled information, just FYI, the way that it comes through is that it's supposed to be somewhat cryptic, because it's meant for every eye to decipher for itself and trust no agent. So if you read Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law and you agree with some of the things that I speak of here, that's great. If you read Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law and you see messages that are meant specifically for you, that is great too. You'll know if a message is for you, because it's going to feel like that stillness. You will be calm as a motherfucker, okay? If you feeling antsy-pantsy and shit like that, no, that means that the ego is getting stirred, my friends. The ego is getting stirred. You want to place the spoon down on the counter, and you want to not stir the fucking pot of the ego. That's what you want to do, okay? So, yeah, so basically, he that is righteous shall be righteous still. This was, I'm going to close off with saying that if some of you resonate with this as well, check to see what you were doing when it clicked for you, that you were awakened to the show and you were aware that you were just bearing witness to something that's occurring on the theater of the 3D Earth Matrix. I don't know, that message is for someone, and that's definitely going to be different for everyone. But for me, yeah, just looking back at that video that I made and how, like, the coming of the apocalypse, and now it's all connected. Thank you, universe. The Book of the Law. This, in my opinion, in my view, as a motherfucker on the on the universe. Ooh, well, I am a motherfucker on the universe, but me as a motherfucker on YouTube, okay, you might resonate, some of you, you know, I wouldn't be putting this shit up if it wasn't going to resonate with at least one. The Book of the Law is a handbook for the apocalypse, because as the Great Purge is occurring now, what's happening is that those who do not elevate their consciousness, they're not going to graduate to the Mars Matrix, because that's exactly what's happening right now. I have a few other videos, if I remember, I will link them, about the Mars Matrix. But this is what's happening. This is the happening. This fucking, oh my God, that movie. Oh, and just a side note, see, this is like the freestyle channels are interesting because, you know, Merry motherfucking Mr. Mercury, he all over the place, and I love it. Thank you, Mr. Mercury. Okay. So this guy, the movie called The Happening, look into that. Also, what's his name? Shyamalan? I don't know how to pronounce it. I really don't know. You know who I'm talking about. And he also had another movie, I think it's called Old, that came out recently, which I have not seen that. I did see The Happening, but I did not see the movie Old. From the clips and snippets that I've seen of the movie Old, that, if you resonate, watch that movie and it'll give you a really good idea of what's going on right now. That is for a select few, by M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know how to pronounce it, okay? I'm not going to pretend that I do. Look up that movie. That, and I have not seen this movie, mind you. I've just heard synopsis. I've seen clips. If you want to know exactly what the fuck is going on right now, you watch that motherfucking movie. M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know, okay? His movies be showing shit too. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers' movies be showing shit, but just watch that movie if it resonates, if you really want a breakdown of what's going on the 3D Earth Matrix right now. So, yeah, my throat is getting dry, and I've been talking for like 32 minutes. So that's what I have for you today in regards to just random stuff, the Book of the Law. It obviously, only if it behooves you, look into that. And yeah, I'm just going to post it. I'm not going to edit it. So, yeah. All right, guys. I am Oculus, the alien next door. Thank you all my beautiful, ethereally dimensioned friends for joining me on this stroll today. And thank you guys for joining us on this stroll today. We'll chit-chat again soon.